Hola, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. We're going to do the show in Spanish today. Hello, traders. How are we? Hope you're all well. Just adjusting my mic. Hope you're having a good trading day. We're having a pretty good day here at Simply Forex, I must say. Pound Aussie dollar and Euro Canadian dollar sales have hit target, and we're still leaving some profit to run. So we'll take a look at exactly what is happening with those trades and why I took them. So our week's getting a little bit better. What else are we going to do? We're also going to, we're going to look at the news right now, but there is no news really. So there's nothing coming out during the live stream. But we do need to be aware of this later on for the US dollar, right? We've got existing home sales and crude oil inventory. So this could affect the US dollar, and obviously crude oil could affect oil as well, because oil has been pretty much going nowhere for some time. And as always, guys, we are going to take as many of your questions as humanly possible. All right. So ask as many questions as you like, guys. Anything to do with trading. It could be to do with anything, really. We don't mind what we talk about. It might be refreshing to talk about something else. What else did I want to tell you guys before we start? I did a little pub quiz last night. We won, believe it or not. I don't think I had a little bit of input. Yeah, so I'll give you a few quiz questions later if I can remember them. But I love a pub quiz. I must say, I do love a pub quiz. So I do it every Tuesday now. I've joined a team, and we've won for the last 5 weeks. So there you go. Yeah, and what else was we going to do? What else did I want to tell you? No, I think that is about it. So let's get into the charts. Let's get started. Before we do, let's just say hello to a few people turning up. Luigi, how are you? Yeah, I'm good. I had to think about that one. It's all right, Luigi. I was looking at something else on a different screen there for a second. Luigi, we're all good. Hope you're well. Brett, afternoon, Brett. Hope you're well, mate. And Ennie, how are you, Ennie? Michael, how's the farm? Always have to ask you that, Michael. I'm sure things are very busy. Jolma, how the devil are you, Jolma? From Brazil. See, I remember our viewers. Right, guys, so let's take a look at a couple of trades we took today. So this is the pound Aussie dollar trade. And as you can see, you know, this has just fell off a cliff, which is good because I'm still in this for 20%, right? So let's understand why I took this trade, first of all. All right. And then we're also going to look at Euro Canadian dollar. I took this trade as well earlier on. So we'll also take a look at that. Itchy nose, itchy head. Let's get started. Right. So pound Aussie dollar, guys. This, in fact, I should put this level through here. Okay. You can see there's a level through here. Right. And we see this time and time and time. And excuse all these drawings, guys. These are all, I was doing a little tutorial on trend lines earlier on, which is in the VIP Trading Academy, if you're interested. My mic gets in the way. There we go. But I'll keep this trend line in, guys, because this was the reason I took the trade. But let's go back to the day chart. Now, we see this setup time and time and time again. What was once support becomes very good resistance. We get a break, and then we get the retest. It's, if that's the only setup you ever take, then so be it, right? I think you'll end up in a very good place with your trading if that's the only setup you took. You know, just to show you guys, look, there's another one here, right? Look, got this level through here, right? Price came down, hit this, it was resistance, it broke. When it comes back down and tests it, it shoots back up, right? This is a beauty of a setup, okay? And, you know, in the textbooks, if it said beauty, it would have a picture of these setups, right? So daily was doing that. But also, you know, we're in a downtrend. We've got the moving average 20 coming round nicely. And we had a big bearish candle, right? So there's other reasons to like this trade, right? Again, you know, your job as a trader is to gather confluence, right? And confluence is reasons to enter a trade. So I give you a few reasons there to enter this trade, but there is more. Okay, if we drop down to the H4 now, you can see there was this trend line, right? You can see this blue trend line. That is the straightest line I have ever diagonally drawn since we've started Simply Forex. Can we just take a second and see how straight that line is? It's not easy with a mouse pen. It's really not. But here we go, guys, right? Look, tested it, come back up, tested it again, but then broke down, right? So you can see here, guys, it stopped making higher highs as well. So it stopped making higher highs and it broke out of this trend line, right? So we like those reasons for taking sells as well. And then this was actually a H1 entry, right? So you can see this trend line, the blue line. So price tested this blue line, was thinking, will it hold? You know, it could have quite easily done this and back up to these highs, but instead it broke down. And as soon as we broke these lows, that's when I'm interested, because we're getting lower lows and it's a continuation of this H1 downtrend. All right. And as soon as we got that break here with this candle, right, we basically entered. Okay, started selling here, stops above the high, and then we took price back down to this psychological 2050 level, right? And then I took 80% profit at this level. Okay, gone back to bad drawing with the mouse pen. Yeah, took 80% and we're letting 20% run, guys. So really nice trade, right? It's still giving. Okay, and then Euro Canadian dollar is a very similar trade, right? So again, let's just understand it. So on the day chart, right, we are in a downtrend, right? Came up here. This was weekly resistance, by the way. Got this low. We broke this low. So we're getting lower lows. And then price has come back up, you know, retraced. We're now getting lower highs. Okay, this high is confirmed because of this big, massive move away from it, right? But we had lower lows anyway, so we knew it was a downtrend, okay? And I also liked it was, you know, around the moving average 20. It's always good dynamic resistance. And this is like trend line day, right? We had another trend line here, okay? So you can see price came down and then we was obeying this trend line, right? It tried to ping off again, could have quite easily have done this, but instead it broke down, okay? And if we go down to the H1 as well, you can see, you know, once we started breaking this level, right, you know, we wasn't sure what was going to happen here. Price bounced off, but then we broke it, okay? So started selling here, stops up above this high here, and then took price down. Well, we've literally just hit target. I actually took some profit a few pips above this, but again, I'm going to let 20% run. So yeah, good day's trading, guys, right? Two good trades, both very similar setups. And yeah, and really using trend lines effectively here. You know, so much so that I did a tutorial on this in the VIP Trading Academy. And just to show you guys, right, that I'm not a hindsight trader, right? We put all these trades ahead of time. You know, there you can see, right, there was our Euro CAD sell, exactly as we did on the chart. And this is our pound Aussie dollar sell. Okay. And then this is, you know, if we hit target or exactly what we did. Like I said, I took profit a little bit early there, but no problem, right? We let 20% run. So there you go, guys. And also, yeah, just this is the VIP Trading Academy, right? So if you want to improve as a trader, then please come join our free Discord channel, right? So if you use the QR code, come join our free Discord channel. It's a great trading community. sharing knowledge, ideas. You know, you can have a chit chat. And then as part of the free Discord, we also have the VIP Discord, guys, right? And here's this, and I put all my tutorials in here as well. So this was a tutorial I added today, right, about the power of trend line breaks as turning points of trend direction. So if you want access to, you know, all of these tutorials, then please come join the VIP Trading Academy. I also give you all of my trade ideas in there as well. So that's me, guys. That is me. I did like Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar buys, but it kind of left without me this one. But yeah, so there are a couple of trades that I'm looking at, guys, but what are you looking at? So let's look at a few questions now from you guys. Before we do, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and please smash the like button, guys. While you do that, I will have a quick drink. Okay, right. What we got here? Tony Gold, let's go. Ikram, we've got something here. So Ikram wants to look at the French indice. Okay, let's do that because I don't really look at that. FR40. Oh. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at this, right? This is the French indice. And because this is a totally naked chart, I think this would be a really good time to do a top-down approach and also put in some support and resistance levels, right? You can see my approach to the chart, okay, and how I find my trades. You know, so let's do this. This will be a good little addition here. So let's start, right? So let's start on the weekly chart. Now, let's put some support and resistance in. Okay, definitely a good level, right? You know, hit. You know, even if I dragged it left, you would hit some levels over here as well. But that's enough. Look, we've got 3 touches there, right? That's a good level of resistance. This is the weekly chart. Okay, I mean, you have to include this last low. And again, if you drag it along here, you will see that it hits a lot of price. Hits. So really on the weekly, these are only the 2 levels I'm interested in because price is within these 2 levels. So that's all I would do with weekly, all right? But and I'm not going to look at trend and structure. Let's just plot support and resistance levels first of all. Now let's go down to the daily. Okay, another level through here. That will do. So I want to incorporate, this is really the last low on the daily, right, that I'm interested in. You see price reacted there again, here, and it's just a bit scruffy through here, but price is definitely reacting at this level through here, right, definitely. Would I include this as a level? Probably not. It's probably a H4 level, right? But there's the only levels I would be interested in with regards to the daily. Let's drop down to the H4 now. And yes, you've got to include this level really, because I'm including it because it's just reacted now at that level as well. All right, so it is proving to be good resistance. Okay, so there's all my support and resistance levels that I'm interested in, right? While we're in the mood of trend lines, let's put in a couple of trend lines. And it's exactly the same with trend lines, right? So this was a trend line that kept being hit. Right, so that's interesting, right? We're reacting at that trend line as well. So now we've got all of our levels in, etc. Right? Let's do a top-down approach, right? Because these levels help us make decisions, right? So I'm happy with all of those levels. Now, again, guys, I don't look at France 40, right? The French indice. I never have, to be fair. I used to look at the DAX a bit, the German indice, but not. What's the French indice called? Anyone for 3 points? We're going to do a little bit of a quiz later as well. You'd be glad to know. Now, looking at the weekly chart. Okay, we are in. Let's start over here, right? Because it's been real whipsawy, right? But we are in a downtrend, right? I know we've got this kind of happening right now, but we're getting lower highs, lower lows, right? You could even argue this candle held on to these lows, which makes it a little bit more confusing, to be honest, right? I would say that this level down here, right, never broke. So why didn't it break? Because the body of this candle didn't close below it, because this is a green candle. The close of this candle is exactly there, and this closed above this level. So that puts a totally different perspective on this now, because if we look at this now, my God, that's the worst line I've drawn the best line ever using my mouse, and I've also drawn the worst line ever using my mouse in one live stream. That's how exciting it is. So really, we're in an uptrend. These have held, and we've got higher highs, right? But you can't ignore these levels here, right? You simply can't. Now, you know, ultimately we're in a uptrend. But do I want to buy into this level? No, right? We know this is resistance. Do I want to sell at this level? Maybe, right? Maybe, you know, maybe we see a bit of a market. Perhaps it starts to range. But I would be more interested in selling if we got a big bearish candle back down to here at this level, right? But we haven't. Let's just deal with what we've got in front of us, right? We've got a bit of a rejection there. We've got some indecision. So I don't really want to buy this. I don't really want to sell it. I don't want to do anything with this on the weekly chart, right? So the weekly's just telling me stay out. There's nothing going on. There's not enough reasons for me to buy it, and there's not enough reasons for me to sell it. So by default, I will stay out of this market, right? Now, if we look at the daily chart, this is why potentially we might have a bit of a range here, right? Now, we were clearly trending hard at this point, right? And then we've broken out of that trend line, and now we're in a bit of a, you know, range, really. Okay, we're ranging from here to here. So, and the reason that is because we've had an uptrend reach a important weekly resistance level, and there are lots of sellers here. So once you get these two forces in the market, right? When you've got daily buyers and weekly sellers like we have here, you're going to get indecision. And this is what we have here. This is indecision here, right? It's consolidation. I know there's still a lot of pips between here and here, but it's consolidation. And if you look back at that weekly candle and we zoom right in, yeah, look, that's what you're seeing. Look, that is that indecision. And that is like a perfectly weighted doji, right? It looks like we're getting a bit of a doji this week, and we've still got some days, obviously. So, yeah, I'm not interested again in the day chart. You know, you have to think, like, even if you got, let's say this candle broke these highs and you ended up with a candle that looked like this and broke this high, there's still nowhere for it to go, right? So I'm not interested in buying it. What I would be interested in is potentially if we get a break of this level, say if something like this happens and then we get bang, we get like a big bearish candle break through these lows, something like this, and we start to get lower lows, I would be very much interested in selling it back down to here. All right, so yeah, at the moment on current price action, it's a stay out, right? There's clearly conflict between buyers and sellers. So hope that helped, Ikram. Yeah, that's all I do, guys, is apply price action logic to each and every chart. That's it. Right now, whether that results in it telling me to buy or telling me to sell or telling me to stay out, it really doesn't matter what code I put in here, what symbol. It could be, FR40, it could be gold, it could be oil, it could be pound yen. It doesn't matter. I just apply price action logic to every chart that I look at. Okay, and then I make decisions on the back of that. And that's really why we started this channel, guys, right? We just want you to start looking at the chart in this way. Okay, so yeah, there you go. I'm very serious today. Right, let's carry on. Colin, thank you very much. So great work with the trading view indicator. Very well done. Yeah, so the indicator we've created basically helps you with price action. It keeps trading very logical for you. Okay, so if you want help with that, please check out the indicator on the website. If you go above my head, www.simply-forex.com, you can get access to the indicator as well. It's called Price Action 101. This will help you understand price action as well. Glad you're enjoying it, Colin. Right, what else are we looking at? Right, Lee James, good afternoon all. Quote of the day so far: trading is not an island, it's a collaborative battlefield. Lee James, I like your quote of the day. I like your thinking right there. It is. That's exactly what it is. It's a battlefield. And, people say about trading is, you're battling other buyers and sellers in the market. You're not. Really, you're battling yourself to stay disciplined and focused and trade your plan and keep very disciplined money and risk management, control your emotions, right? So it's just a battle with yourself, but the chart is a battlefield of buyers and sellers. There's no other side. You're either on the buying side or the selling side, right? And this battle is as old as time, right? These markets are never going anywhere, and if they do, it is the end of the world. The world will stop spinning. If you can't see a candlestick anymore and charts don't appear, stock up on baked beans. Right. Thank you, Lee, for your quote of the day. Right, we've got Brett wants to look at is this the Canadian dollar indice, the CAC, the CAC 40. Okay, let's have a look at, oh my God. Is there a better one? This is awful, Brett. Why are you purposely tucking me up with this one? Okay. Oh, okay. This is the same. Yeah, this is the free. Okay, you're telling me what the index is. Okay. So this is the same. This is exactly the same as the FR40. Identical chart. Right. If I put in the FR40 again, you will see it's identical. There you go. Same chart. Okay. Any loves that quote, Lee. We all like that quote. Yeah, no, it's the French index. Yeah, thank you very much, Brett. I got a little bit lost there myself. Yeah, so guys, please don't forget to ask as many questions as you like, right? I'm all yours for the next, we're here till 45 past the hour, so we've still got another 20 minutes, so ask as many questions as you like. Now, I'm going to try and, just to while we wait for some questions, I'm going to ask you a few questions from the pub quiz last night, right? Are you ready? So question number one was this. The character Shylock was from which Shakespeare play? And I will look at US dollar yen. What's happening with oil? Okay, we'll look at all of these now, guys. Thanks for getting your questions in. But that's my question to you guys, right? So the character Shylock is in which Shakespeare play? In fact, guys, whoever answers the most questions correctly, we are going to give a 5K funded challenge courtesy of Blueberry Funded. There you go. Let's just do it. Let's roll with it. Okay, so Eni has got, 1 point for Eni. I'm going to keep a little tally here. Eni has got 1 point. My pen has decided to stop working. My God. Here we go. Right, Eni, I'm writing your name down. You have got 1 point. And try not to Google it, guys. That's cheating. Okay, whoever gets the most questions right, I kid you not, we will give you a 5K funded challenge free of charge. You will get 5K to trade with our partner prop firm, Blueberry Funded. Next question. What was the question? What state is the Grand Canyon in? So what state is the Grand Canyon in? I'm writing down these scores. Brett, you can enter. No problem. Okay. I've also been to the Grand Canyon, Brett. I have been there. Okay, so no, we haven't got a correct answer yet. Brett has the correct answer. So Eni said Nevada, anonymous user said Utah. Funnily enough, somebody at the quiz last night was adamant it was Utah. So yeah, that's quite crazy. So Brett, Arizona is the correct answer. Right, I've got to think of more questions now. What was another question from last night? I can't think of any right now. Okay, we'll carry on this quiz. Let me think of some questions from the quiz last night. What was another one? What, this is a question, what is a adult male swan called? What is an adult male swan, you know, the big white bird, called? Anyone? Bit of a tricky one, this one. Brett, you're on fire. Another one for Brett. Average at best. Okay, average at best. You also got a correct answer. What was another question? I'm not. I should fact check this. But what is a bunch of ferrets called? What is a bunch? I've just got to check the answer. Yes. So what is a CJ Daddy Swan? You deserve a point for that, CJ, I must say. What is, you know, you get like, you know, a pride of lions. What is a group of ferrets called? Any, boom, it is a business. Right, I think we are going to give, not a gang. So, right, Any, what we're going to do, we're going to give you a 5K funded challenge. What you need to do, right, Any, is join our free Discord using the, what's that called? The QR code on the screen. And then get in contact with Simply Forex, at Simply Forex, or just ask in one of the rooms. All right, Any? So, yeah, guaranteed 5K funded challenge coming your way. Join the free Discord and then message Simply Forex, or just leave a question in any of the rooms and we'll pick it up. So there you go, Any. Congratulations, you have won. Yeah, a funded challenge. Kurt Blueberry funded our prop firm partner. I had to think of it for a second there. Right, Euro US dollar. I've just got to take a quick look at Euro US dollar because this is coming back into a nice area. Speaking of trend lines, I've gone trend line crazy today. This is a really nice area, guys. I will consider buying this very soon. Yeah, so if price gets down to that level, guys, I'm going to start buying Euro US dollar. All right, so why do I want to buy Euro US dollar? Just take a look, guys, right? We're in an uptrend. Okay, we're in an uptrend, higher lows, higher highs, right? And we have got just bullish candles, right? And yesterday's was very bullish. And we have a little bit more room to go into. This blue line is my target. So you're probably, it can probably reach up to this level, right? This 1.18 thousand. But yeah, I will start buying Euro US dollar if we come back down to this level. Excuse me. I've had so much food today. I've had a McDonald's breakfast, which I was a little ashamed of, but they're glorious. And then I've eaten eggs on toast with avocado, scrambled egg. Pretty healthy. I think you'll agree. Right. Okay. I love the way that we just don't talk about trading anymore. We just do quizzes and talk about food. Anyway, there was some trading questions around here. Let me just go back and find them. Right, US dollar, Japanese yen for Any, the winner of the 5K challenge. Right, Any, let's take a look at US dollar yen. Okay, daily chart. Now, so get your words out, Tom. Take a second, get your words out. Right now, weekly, we have broken this level through here, right? We have. Yeah, that candle there broke this level of resistance, okay? So we are in a weekly uptrend. Now, on the daily, we have also retraced, right? We're here. We've also retraced to a very nice support level, right? This is the last low. So we can draw a level through there, okay? And you can see the moving average 20 coming around nicely as well. So this is a very nice level for looking for buys, right? It doesn't mean I want to buy, right, immediately at this level. It just means that I like this level. I don't want to buy at this level because just look at all the selling, right? Sellers are in control of this market. But if I get a nice bullish green candle that looks something like this, it could even have a bit of a wick on it, right? But something that looks like this, I would be very interested in buying US dollar yen back up to here. Very interested. All right. But we're not seeing that just yet. So let's drop down to the H4 and understand when that could happen. And as you can see, guys, you don't have to look far. The market just shows you the levels, right? There you go, right? You know, like, it's very easy to spot that. Okay, price has reacted there as support. It reacted there at resistance. It's become an important level. Now, I would be very interested in buying US dollar yen if, for say, something like this happens and then we get a break of that level. Because once we get a break of that level, we're in a H4 uptrend, right? Moving average 20 is probably around here by now, right? And I want to buy it. And then once we get this price action, okay, imagine what the daily candle will look like. It will automatically, look, there's that level, right? It will automatically look very bullish. And then we can take that trade, right? Retrace into the H4, you know, take it back up to these highs in here. So ultimately, I want to buy US dollar yen, but nothing's telling me to buy it at the moment, right? But this is a really nice level to buy from. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing. And also, guys, right, you know, this is a reason why I don't buy levels. Okay, so you could start buying in here, right, and put your stop loss below this low, right? But we all know that the big boys, the banks, you know, the big investment firms, hedge funds, they know that all your stop losses are in there. So they might even push this down a little bit further, whip all the retail traders out, and then we get this big wick rejection, right? So that's why I'm not interested in buying a level on the daily, right? I will wait for that structure break right in here, and then I'm interested. And you know, even if the big boys want to do that, take out a few stop losses, this will still probably be in a H4 downtrend, and we're still waiting for a structure break, right? Nothing changes. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing. But we are seeing a bit of US dollar strength right now. Sorry, a bit of yen strength right now. But I am interested in Aussie dollar yen. Right? I know I've been going crazy with the trend lines, but this has broken a trend line, right? And we, you know, there's a nice little level through here, yeah, that's being created, right? So, yeah, I mean, looking at Aussie dollar yen, that could potentially be a buy trade. I have been looking at this all day. What I might do, guys, is this. I might use the H1 here, right? And then what I'll do is wait for a break of this level. If we get a nice big bullish candle that breaks through this level, something like this, right? I will start buying here, and I will use the H1 lows to use for my stop loss and put my stop loss in here. I just want that extra piece of confirmation and that continuation of H1 trend, because you know we're literally at this trend line. If we break that, I think we've got the all clear to carry on. So we'll see, right? But I do like Aussie dollar yen buys. What else are we looking at? Any, you are very welcome. You are very welcome. Thank you for always tuning in. Yeah, we appreciate. We can't do this channel without your support, guys. So we appreciate you tuning in. Yeah, if we can give a bit back and you learn something, then everyone's happy. The egg on toast should negate the Mackie D. Yeah, you would, and the avocado. You would like to think so. Although I did put quite a bit of ketchup on the eggs. Thoughts on gold? Right, average at best. Just like your name. Let's have a look at gold, guys. Now, this is at a weekly resistance level, right? So it's one of those, right? Every time I'm in this situation, it's going to be a long time before I have a trade, right? So let me explain what I mean. So we are clearly in an uptrend, right? But we are at a key resistance level. The market has shown us this is a key resistance level, right? It's touched once, twice, 3 times, and it's even touched again now. It's a good resistance level, right? You could, you know, if you're big on chart patterns, had to think of the word there. Let's drag this across. If you're big on chart patterns, this is looking like an ascending triangle, right? Price has come up. Yeah, you know, maybe it just keeps contracting and eventually it has to go somewhere, right? It can't keep contracting. But it's going to take a big push to get through that level. Or we could, I know it's an ascending triangle, which suggests if we get a candle like this, right, we want to buy. Yeah, we do. Totally agree. But also if we get a breakdown of this, I'm also interested in selling because of the level we're at, right? So that's the problem with gold, right? We're in an uptrend, but we're at resistance. So straight away, you want to buy the market, but you're at a selling level. So there's conflict, right? So there's just doesn't make sense to keep buying it, right? Now, this was a trade, to give you an idea, this was a trade a couple of days ago. We didn't get in on it. It didn't retrace enough. But if we go back to this candle here, this was a buy trade all day, right? We had this resistance, resistance, bang, okay? And we had room to move into, right? Back up to here. So that was a trade a couple of days ago because we're not at resistance. But we go back to real time, we're at resistance, right? I can't keep pushing that. Okay, and everything's in an uptrend, right? Daily's in an uptrend, weekly's in an uptrend, but yeah, not interested, right? You know, I would be interested if price comes back down to this level, and again, we've got some room to move into, but right now, gold is at a level that I don't want to sell because we're in an uptrend, and I certainly don't want to buy because this has proven to be good resistance time and time again. So gold is a bit of a stay out for me at the moment for that reason. Also, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Smash the notification button and please smash the like button. Also, guys, please don't forget to join our free Discord channel. Just use the QR code on the screen. And also, guys, if you want access to all of our premium trading education, including the course, including the VIP Trading Academy, including the mentorship program where I coach you one-on-one, and including our newly launched Price Action 101 indicator, which people are already getting good results with, then please go check out the website above my head. Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to leave it there, but all the links are on the screen here, guys. So look in the live chat if you're interested in any of those things. Once again, thank you very much for joining us today. We'll be doing it again tomorrow, same time, 8 a.m. New York EST time. So come join me for that, guys. Get your trading questions ready, and I'll see you tomorrow.